If there was one thing that I would want my son or daughter to be perfect at while driving in the city of Winnipeg, it would have to be left turns. And the reason being, when you do a left turn, you expose the passenger side to oncoming vehicles. They could be going whatever rate of speed. And usually when you make a mistake with a left turn at a set of lights, it doesn't just end up in an accident, but a bad accident. So if there was one thing that you'd want to equip yourself with and make sure that you had the ability to do correctly, it would be doing left turns at lights, left turns at boulevards, etc., to make sure you're doing always the right thing. So our first situation here, if I was doing a left turn from a stop sign where the side traffic need not stop, I only need about 5 seconds of space from my left because it only takes me 2 to 3 seconds to get to here. But I need 11 seconds of space from my right because once I get here, it's going to take me 4 seconds to build up, and I still want them 4 seconds behind me, and it took me 2 to 3 seconds to get here. So that's why I need that much space when doing a left turn from a stop sign where the other traffic does not have one. Now, sometimes you'll have a boulevard in the middle. So if you're at a stop sign and a boulevard was available, you always turn just before center, and that is the path that you would take. In this case here, if cars are 5 seconds away or more, you're able to do your left turn and go halfway, no problem. But make sure of this. Before I leave to go halfway, I'm going to look over here because these cars don't have a stop sign and they'd have an opportunity to turn before me. So if someone's sitting in here with their left signal on, I can't leave here till this middle is empty. Then I can go forward and left along my path. The oncoming car should do the same. All left turns, excuse me, all left turns must be done by turning before center. Now in this case here, if I get to halfway and there's cars coming straight through, I can hide in the boulevard. And not that I love this law, but let's say your car's a little bit too big, that you're partially blocking this lane of traffic. Well, you can't leave when cars are right here. But let's say there were no cars when you left, or they're very far away. If your back end's blocking one lane of traffic because it had to, then it's okay. And these cars would have time to signal and check and go around you. Again, I don't love that law, but it is what it is. That's how you operate when doing that left turn. So signal's on, you look here, you make sure no one's turning in from here. It's safe from the other side, no one's in the middle. Now you can turn before center. If it's safe to go all the way, you don't stop in the middle. You just continue on through. But if there aren't cars coming straight through, you could wait in that position, and that would be acceptable. And in this case here, maybe you're at a set of lights. So this diagram at the bottom, notice here there is no boulevard, there is no turning lanes. Oncoming cars could be right beside me. So when I establish for a left turn at a set of lights, I would go up into this position right here without arcing whatsoever, and I'd continue to watch the oncoming cars, the light, pedestrians at the end of my turn, and when it's safe, I do my turn like this. Again, I don't arc at all because oncoming cars are right beside me. Now this last diagram is probably the most important thing for everybody to understand. If I was in the left turn lane, wanting to do a left turn at a set of lights, I'm going to start from the very beginning here. I kind of jumped ahead on this one, but I'm going to talk about all the ideas with left turns at lights. If you're sitting here at your red light and you, the first car, gets a left turn arrow, what that means is the oncoming cars should have a red light. They will have a red light, and they should, be acknowledging that and waiting there. You should be able to do your left turn right away with the turn arrow. Now, you might not get a turn arrow. You might just get a green light. And what that means is you're allowed to do your left turn, but you have to yield to oncoming cars. And just know that if you had a green light, they'll have a green light, and they'll be allowed to come through this area. So you would then pull into the intersection. If you have a green light in the face of oncoming cars, you're not allowed to wait at the stop line. The first car in line must establish. The most important thing is, where do you go? And some people are happy to go just past the stop line, and when they sit in here, they're barely in the intersection. These cars, they don't even notice you're in the intersection. So what I'd want you to do when doing a left turn at a set of lights like this, you look at where's the first lane of traffic that can come straight through. Well, I don't want to go so far left that I'm in their way. The other thing is, I don't want to go straight very long, turn sharply to my left, and now be on an angle that if I got hit from behind, I'd get propelled into oncoming traffic. So in this case here, if I'm going to be going up and waiting, I'm going to angle in early, and I'm going to come up so I'm sitting pretty much straight ahead, but I'm as left as I can be, that when this car comes up to turn left into sitting here, I can still see past that oncoming car. So if you take a look here, I can still see past this oncoming car, and I know what's going on further down that street. If I'd just gone straight in here, I might not be able to see very far, so I want to go forward and left and sit in here. The other thing you'll notice is, I'm right in front of these two lanes that have a red light. I'm in front of the cross traffic to my left. I'm not in front of the cross traffic to my right, then I'd have gone too far. So I'm in front of the cross traffic to my left. I don't want to be past them, but I want to be in front of them. I want to be as left as I can, that I'm not in the way of the first lane of oncoming traffic. While I'm sitting here, I'm watching three things. The three things that I'm watching are oncoming cars, pedestrians at the end of my turn, and the light for any changes. If I get a chance to clear on green, excellent, I'll use it and I turn into my first available lane. If I don't get that chance and the light goes yellow, now I have to judge. If the light goes yellow for me, it goes yellow for them. These cars here that are coming up when the light goes yellow, they might stop. If they stop, great, you go clear on yellow. But they might gun it through. And if they decide to gun it through on yellow, you can't go get hit and run out in front of them. You let them finish, and if the next people are stopping, you leave right after. And hopefully your light's still yellow, but even if you had to clear and the light had turned to red, if that was your first chance to safely go, and you monitored the situation well, and that was your first chance to go, that's not a problem whatsoever. And because you're established so nicely, these cars know that you have to finish. So if you leave in good time as best you can, you clear the intersection, then these guys, even if they get a green light, they don't leave until you've exited. So left turn at light, one car must establish, one car must finish, and that's the things that you're watching for. The cars behind you, if you're established, the second car in line should be at the stop line. If you leave on green, then they can shoot in. But if you leave on yellow or red, they wait at the stop line for their next sets of lights. So again, understand how important this is. Hopefully this made sense to you, and you can have a safe, long driving career doing good left turns at lights.